Dispatch to all units. This is a third alarm. Switch to the TAC channel.
You got water. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TAC channel. I'm your host, Heath Meredith. This is the Third Alarm Cowboys podcast. This is a podcast for firefighters. We talk about real life situations, stuff in your station like leadership and promotions, and stuff in your personal life like relationships and finances. You name it, we talk about it. Some things may be a little controversial, but that's real life, and that's what we're going to talk about on this show. Man, what's going on, guys? It's been a minute. I'm pretty excited to get back. I've been away from recording my own show for the last few weeks for a couple different reasons, guys. I've been a guest on a few shows that some of them have dropped, some of them haven't, and I still have a couple more that I'm going to be a guest on, going on other guys' platforms, and that's been really fun for me, going and getting to basically get put in the hot seat on other people's platforms and them ask me questions, and really I've got to the point where between my real job and the Third Alarm Cowboys with the training stuff and everything, I basically have gotten down where I really only have like one day a week where I can record. And so those days have been kind of here lately, being focused around going on other people's shows. So you guys forgive me for that stuff, but I'm going to get caught up and start rolling again on getting these shows out to you. Just got home this morning from being on shift. I ended up, we were in Italy. Those of you that follow the page, whenever you see I shared the article that dropped about my daughter's softball team. They played for Team America, Team USA softball at a big tournament, an international tournament in Italy. And guys, they went totally undefeated, beat out some outstanding teams, some teams that actually hold some world records as far as for their performance on the softball field in Italy and stuff like that. And man, they brought the gold home. So very excited. I'm very proud of all these girls. There's about a half dozen of them or so that this was kind of their last hurrah with their big travel team, and they're all gloating, including my daughter, going to play college ball now. So this team, they've been playing, most of them have been playing together since they were, T-ball age, and have moved all the way up and played different high school ball because they're all from the East Texas region, and played each other in high school ball, but they've all been on these select teams together. And for them to get to go overseas and represent the U.S. and just ultimately, guys, kick ass. I mean, totally kick ass. It was a couple nail biters, man. We had the rules over there are a little bit different than what we're used to in the U.S. as far as softball. And their fields are bigger. They play on like either a 240 or 250 foot field. So couple of the hits that like even my daughter had that would have been bombs here in the U.S. They hit the fence there. So it was very, very fun. It was a couple of the games we're sitting there in the bleachers just going insane, and it was a great time, man. We ended up going, and that big tournament was in Milan, Italy. Then we took a couple days in Florence, getting to see the sights, and then we wrapped the tour up, or wrapped the trip up in Rome, and got to have a really, really long day, basically 2 days worth in Rome, getting to travel around with a private tour guide and getting to see a lot of stuff, man. I'm going to get more into that here in a minute, of the things I learned over the last few weeks of being on this trip and all that, but the things that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tell you all straight up right now, I don't care. I really don't care. If anything about you has any kind of, you're sensitive, or you get offended, or you don't like cuss words or anything like that, this is not going to be the episode for you to listen to. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm giving you my fair warning before I knock into this episode and really let y'all know where the hell my head's at and what the hell is going on. The last big episode I did was for the July 4th thing, and that's kind of still where my head is on some things. But I'm going to tell you straight up that I'm even more fired up now after traveling overseas and getting to see a lot more of the world than what I even knew. And then coming back and walking back into my fire department, walking back into my area, getting back on social media. It was really nice to disconnect for 10 days. And I had a lot of the articles that posted. I had those pre-scheduled to publish while I was gone. I did engage a little bit, you have to, as far as the algorithms go, and I don't have this kick-ass media team that keeps up with all my shit for me. So, for me to drive the algorithms and everything, I have to do that myself. And I've seen it. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, we went from getting about 4 million views on this page, on the Facebook page, a week, to we dropped down to like, we're between 900,000 and 1 million views for this week. Just me taking 10 days off, that's how much it drops off. So for you guys that wonder what the whole hardcore deal is, and with the social media world, the fire service, or Facebook in general. It has nothing to do with the fire service, but the Facebook in general, and being able to keep the stuff going, it's it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's a lot of engagement. You have to constantly keep going. And it was nice to get to disconnect from that and just get to be a dad, just get to be a husband. We were worn the hell out. I'm not gonna lie. So we were worn out, and it took me. We finally got home yesterday or day before yesterday, and I went and worked at 24 at the fire department, and then I'm just getting home this morning. So a lot going on, but I got a lot on my mind. The next few weeks, I'm about to put a foot up every single one of your asses for the next few weeks, and we got to do something. But before I get into that, guys, let me pay the bills. A bunch of y'all have been reaching out to me here recently about workout plans, about what you need to be eating. Guys that are really trying to get their fitness dialed in. A couple guys have reached out to me, said that they're testing at some departments, that they're wanting to move up to a bigger department, or some guys that are even wanting to go, they've been volunteer and now they're wanting to go career. So they're having to go through the whole testing process, and they want to know what to do to get themselves, squared away physically, and performance wise. And so you guys been reaching out. I love that. I had a couple of different phone calls yesterday when I was on duty. Guys wanting to know what to do, where to start, what kind of workout should I be doing to get ready for a PAT test, what should I be eating and all that. And really, man, I'm going to tell you all, like what I tell everybody, which the workout stuff is one thing. I got to kind of cater that to your physical body. If you're a big dude that's looking to lose weight, that's one thing. If you're a little dude that's wanting to get bigger and stronger, that's another thing. But I would tell all of you right here up front, like you've got to have your protein stuff dialed in. What you eat really makes a difference. It really, really does. Regardless of whether you're a little guy that's wanting to, gain muscle and get big, or you're a big dude that's trying to shed the fat but keep the muscle, because our job is heavy. Every 5 inches heavy. That big ass patient that fell down in the nursing home is heavy. So we've got to be strong, and your muscle mass matters. Your muscle mass is what burns calories. Your muscle mass is what protects all the other things in your body. So muscle matters in the fire service. Regardless of what all the people say, you got to be muscular in the fire service. You got to be strong. And what that comes back to is you got to be eating enough protein. So you can run 1,000,000 miles a day. You can go be one of these super duper marathon runners and all that kind of stuff and be built like this. But then when you got to drag 5 inch, you ain't worth the fuck. So we've got to have strength. Where that comes in is you got to feed your muscles. So whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, you got to feed your muscles. And that's where the protein stuff comes in, guys. I subscribe to the methodology and everything when it comes to counting macros and all that, that you should be eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So like, I'm right now I'm at like 270. So I shoot for between 275 and 300 grams of protein because I really want to maintain my upper body muscle mass. So that's what I shoot for. So, and I won't lie to you guys, you eat a chicken breast, that's like 20 to 25 grams of protein. So to hit 300, you're going to have to eat a lot of damn chicken breast. I eat every morning. I have 2 whole eggs and 4 egg whites every morning. I scramble them all together to do that with 2 to 3 slices of bacon. The thing is, on the bacon, you got to kind of watch the fat, because I do try to keep my fat grams down less than what the protein. I shoot for about 100. So that's all kind of depends on what your goals are. But overall, guys, you have to eat a lot of protein when you do our job. You have to. And I supplement. I mean, I eat my good breakfast, I eat a lunch, and I eat a dinner. And whether that's a steak, whether that's chicken breast, the egg whites, all that stuff, I eat my meals. But in between, man, I'm drinking shakes. And you guys know that I'm all about First Form. You guys know that that is the brand that I represent. That's the brand that pays for this podcast. All the stuff that you guys buy through my link on this podcast, I get in commissions, and that's what funds all this stuff. That's how the sponsorship works. Okay. So that's what I do. So you guys that are reaching out, I can't thank you guys enough. You sent me, where you went through the link, you sent me a screenshot. Hey man, this is all the stuff that I ordered. Now, how do I use it? When we get together and I'll tell you like, hey, you need to drink this at this time, drink that at that time, whatever. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you guys make sure you're taking the right stuff, or that you're ordering the right stuff. You don't need to go on there and order a bunch of crazy stuff that you don't even know how to use. That's not what it's all about. You build in the things that you need that's going to make your body, you order that stuff to start with. And then as you want to critique, as you want to add in a pre-workout, or you want to add in, some testosterone booster or something like that you want to add in, that's a whole other deal that we can work through. But guys, I'm going to tell every single one of you where to start is on your protein, because none of us are eating enough protein, especially when you're riding a damn ambulance, you're doing all that stuff, you're not getting enough protein in. And, First Form has a new one. I haven't advertised at this, but guys, they're clear. My kids drink this. My wife drinks it every single day, and then I drink it. You mix it with water. You literally put it in a cup or in a shaker bottle, mix it with water. It counts as water intake. It hydrates you and everything, just like you're drinking a glass of water. You can put it in, put it in water and then use a froth or whatever, stir it up real good, and then put ice in it, just like this right here. It's still clear, and you drink it. 2 scoops of this is 44 grams of protein. So I literally drink that throughout the day as water, and I'm getting 44 grams of protein per drink that I mix up. So when you start doing things like that, or you taking your post-workout, recovery shake, the Formula One recovery shake, and doing that, 2 scoops of that, that's 40 grams because they're between 18 and 20 grams of protein per scoop, depending on the flavor. But you get 40 grams of protein right there. So I got 40 in the morning off a shake. That's 80 something grams, 80 to 84 grams of protein I've gotten just through that. That starts adding in and really moving you forward in being able to hit those protein goals, and you're not sitting there just having to pound eating chicken breast, because that shit's no fun. You guys that like doing that, more power to you. That's not me. I don't have the time, and I don't like eating cold meat, so I don't necessarily have that. And I really don't like microwaved meat, so I use things like that. This is the first form, the Formula One Clear. Like I said, it mixes with water. It mixes really good. It tastes great. The grape flavor is probably our favorite. It tastes like grape Kool-Aid. It's really freaking good. And so that's what we use, man. If that's something that you're interested in, you can go to firstform.com/third alarm cowboys. That's the number 1 STPHORM.com/third alarm cowboys, or just simply shoot me an email, shoot me a message on Facebook, something like that, man. And I'll walk you guys through it, and I can send you the direct links to the products that you're looking for. I'll probably post a link for this clear in the YouTube video on this. So if you want to just go directly to that, you can. There's several different flavors of it. They got a lemonade, they have a sherbet ice cream, lots of great flavors, and all their stuff mixes up well and it tastes great. That's the big thing about First Form that's different than anything else. Their products actually taste good. It's not clumpy, it's not chunky, it's not chalky, it's none of that. It actually tastes good. So guys, with that, and then I'll move into our other one, man, is the firefighter cigars, the Payne Mason cigars with Third Alarm Cowboys. Guys, we're launching a new deal with that. A bunch of you are already subscribers. We probably have like 200 of y'all that are monthly subscribers to the cigar. You get a monthly cigar sent to you. We're now starting a new deal to try to get more subscribers and everything. It is what it is. This is a business. I'm not going to bullshit y'all on that. But we're launching a new deal where I give you a promo code, and I'll post that down here in the link. But the promo code, when you sign up for a 6-month subscription, you actually get your first month for free. You're going to get the free cigar. So that's something we're launching. We got 5 different blends of cigar, everything from a mild tobacco to a bold tobacco, from a firefighter rank to a chief rank, and then we have the 5 different ones. We have the medium blend is the Truckee, which is this one. It's a medium blend Churchill, so it's a longer burning cigar. Then we have the engine operator, and it's a medium blend. The captain is a medium and a mild blend together. And then the chief is a really bold blend. Of course, then the firefighter is like a blonde. So you guys that drink beer and stuff, imagine from a light beer, a blonde beer, to a dark, bold beer. That's basically the difference. That's how I like to describe guys. So it kind of depends on what you like to drink, is what I like to match guys up with, what type of cigar, or whether you smoke a lot or not. If you smoke a lot, guys like a lot bolder cigars. So with all that being said, guys, it's Payne Mason. They are the best cigar company in the nation. They partnered with me several years ago. We travel all across the country, and these cigars sell out everywhere we go. They're very, very popular. Guys love them. They're the only truly hand-rolled cigar company in the U.S. No machine packing. They have Cuban Master rollers, Cuban Master cigar rollers that work for them, and that's what they do all day long is truly rolling. Rolling handmade cigars all the way in, all the way out. There's, no special wrap, all that kind of stuff to try to make it look like these are truly hand-rolled cigars. Guys love them. They taste good. They don't have that bitter aftertaste that a lot of your gas station cigars will give you. And the reason for that is there is no chemical drying in the process with Payne Mason. If it's a dark colored tobacco, that means it's been truly dried. A lot of people will spray like a chemical on there to try to make it look darker, and that's that bitter aftertaste that you get whenever you smoke like a gas station type cigar, and you just have that super nasty aftertaste 30 minutes later. That's what that's from, that's the chemical drying process that they use. Payne Mason doesn't do that. Their tobacco is truly aged, hanging in a barn. A lot of their stuff is out of South Carolina, where a lot of their tobacco comes from. And so you don't have that bitter aftertaste. You don't have that stinky smell on you. My wife doesn't really necessarily like whenever I smoke, but when it comes to these, it doesn't gross her out. She says I don't smell like cigars the rest of the night. It's not all in my hair. It's not all in my clothes. I can go out here and smoke and then, come back in the house, and a few minutes later she can kiss me and it's like it ain't no big deal. So guys, that's a very, very blessing that we've had, is being partnered with Payne Mason, and they love what we're doing with this podcast. They love firefighters. Bob Payne is actually a retired Navy guy out of Coronado, California. And so they still live in San Diego, but they absolutely love firefighters. And so when I was like, hey, y'all want to partner with a firefighter brand that's all about making firefighters better, they were all about it. So I'm very thankful for that. Very thankful for them. You can go to paynemason.com/Third Alarm Cowboys, see our full lineup, and use promo code TAC, TAC, and that'll get you a discount on your first cigar. If you're interested, I'll link the promo code to be able to get your first month subscription for free when you sign up for a 6-month subscription. I'll put that in the bio or whatever of this YouTube video as well, guys. We're gonna really hammer down the next few months on doing Third Alarm Cowboys shit. I had a great vacation. We've had a great summer. Our summer's kind of coming to an end. We're getting ready to move the oldest, move her to college this coming weekend. The little one is moving from daycare school to big kid church school. And so for us around here, summer's coming up to an end, and we're about to get fired off, which means during the fall, I'm going to be traveling. We basically have 2 conferences or 2 trainings every single month from now to the end of the year. I think we have 1 available weekend left in November. Guys, us getting House Bill 2604 eligible, grant eligible, as far as and also as TIFMAS eligible in the state of Texas, is blowing up. These departments are realizing that they can bring us in and be able to get, all the reimbursement money from the grant for bringing us in, because I'm not upcharging. I'm not going over the reimbursement amount like a lot of people will. The reimbursement route is $140 per student per day. Some guys are charging $200 or $300 a student, so the department has to eat that. We're not doing that. We're keeping the costs down. So basically, you can bring us in and get your money back. And that is my goal. That's what I'm going to continue to do. Guys in the state of Texas, whether you're volunteer or paid, if you're eligible for TIFMA stuff, you're eligible for 2604 stuff, we will come out. Shoot me an email, shoot me a private message on Facebook, go to the website, hit the contact me. There's multiple ways. I'm very easy to get a hold of. And when you reach out, you're getting me. I don't have a bunch of people on my email, all that. You're going to actually talk to me directly. A lot of people are like, man, I thought I was going to get a bot. No, you're not getting a bot. You're getting retarded ass Heath. So I'll get with you, man. We're going to schedule. We cater this class at a lot of places we go to have either combination departments or their volunteer departments. And we're one of the few classes that will cater to you guys. We'll come in on a weekend when all your volunteers can make it, when they can be off work and all that. And I teach the class on Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. That's kind of a special thing that we do. We're one of the few people that do that. Of course, now everybody else will probably start doing it to try to match us, because that's what I'm starting to see. But guys, we're one of the only classes out there that genuinely teaches everything. It's called the real pump to nozzle class. And we're not just going to teach you a handline class. We're not going to just teach you a rescue class. We're literally teaching everything. We're teaching from pump ops with water supply, relay pumping. So it doesn't matter if you're a rural department that needs to work on your drafting or drafting out of a lake or a dump tank or whatever. Or if you're a city department and you got a hydrant on every corner and your guys have a great water supply and y'all do a lot of relay pumping, we cater the class to you guys. We cater the class to your department. We're one of the only people that's doing this. We're not here to sell you any new equipment. We're not here to sell you the latest, greatest, whatever that we've got our name stamped on. I am not a salesman. I tell everybody that, including the companies that reach out to me and want me to rep their stuff. I am not a salesman. There's products that I like, and I will tell people there's stuff I like, but I'm not a salesman for anybody. So I'm going to come. We're going to use your stuff, your trucks, your staffing model, your guys, and run it the way your department has to run it, but make it where your guys are getting better. There is a huge gap right now in everywhere in the fire service between certifications and the practical ability to apply it. And so that's what our specialty is, and we can do it all. We literally come in, and our class is a full-fledged engine ops class. About the only thing I don't teach, and I can teach if you request it, is vertical ventilation. But other than that, man, we're doing everything from the pump ops, real fireground pump ops, relay pump and all that, to your fire attack with your handline deployments, all that kind of stuff with your stuff, whether you're running fog nozzles, smooth bores, doesn't matter. We can use it all. We already do use it all. And we teach all that, forcible entry, throwing ladders, search and rescue, the whole 9 yards. We can hit all that in a weekend. And that's why our class is so popular, because for one, we're not overcharging you guys, and you can actually have your guys walk away and be able to handle a structure fire that day. And we've seen it happen. The last class, big class that we were in Southeast Texas, on the damn lunch break during the skills session day, these guys dropped a working structure fire. We got to go over there and help them out a little bit, and mainly help them clean up because these guys did a kick-ass job when they first arrived on scene. So, guys, for you chiefs out there that are very interested, I have reference letters. If you need to know, make sure Heath's not full of shit. I've got reference letters from multiple states with multiple chiefs that have taken our class. They're not just going off the word of their class. They are chiefs that have sat in our class, taken part in our class, and been there for our class. I'd be happy to send you guys that. Just reach out to me, let me know. And, as far as the rest of you guys that are from all across the rest of the country, I'm working with several departments on the East Coast, several departments on the West Coast, several departments in Ohio looking to book for 2027. So we already have started booking. I think we're sitting at 3 events already in the first quarter of 2027. It's going to fill up fast, guys. So we'll travel anywhere. Like I said, I'm not overcharging you, but when it comes to flights and all that, I can't control that. But I do usually try to knock down our actual class rate to make it cost effective because I'm just not that way. And I know that the flights are expensive. I know that hotels are expensive. So we'll see what we can do to be able to get out there to you guys and not charge you an arm and a leg. I'm not like that. I just want to go. I want to get with your departments, and I want to truly make your guys better. So reach out to me for that if you're interested in the TAC channel lecture, which is blowing the fuck up. I do that too. If you don't have the budget or you guys don't need the hands-on or you think you don't need the hands-on stuff, I'll travel all around and give my lecture too. That's what we do. So guys, in September, we got 2 events in Arkansas. We're going to be all about Arkansas for the month of September. I'm fired up. One weekend, we're going on the September 12th. We're going to be in Floyd Romance. And this class is open to everyone, guys. Floyd Romance Fire Department has opened up to everybody in the state of Arkansas to come in. It's going to be a hands-on class. We're going to come literally kick you guys in the ass. The chief has given us a directive to wear everybody out and make them fucking badass. And they're actually building a brand new training facility right now. And it's going to, hopefully, everything will be done. Maybe not completely finished out, but enough done where we can come up there and we're going to work y'all's ass and we're going to break this new training facility in while we're up there. So that's open to everybody. Shoot me an email, shoot me a message if you're interested in getting that. I think the class is almost full, but I'm sure that that chief will probably let 1 or 2 more guys come out. Guys, and then the last weekend of the month, we're going to be at Before the Bell. They reached out to me. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of people that are wanting to take this class. So they reached out to me and asked, like, hey, can you teach 2 lectures? So I was only going to do 1 on Saturday, but now we're going to end up staying, and I'm going to do 1 Saturday morning and 1 Sunday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, I'm going to run out there with the boys from Rural Fire Tactics. Logan Hinkle and his group are going to be doing burns on Saturday afternoon. So I'm going to run out there after we wrap up my lecture and go out there and do some fireman shit with you guys and help Logan out. Basically just go out there and give Logan a hard time is what I'm going to try to do. So other than that, guys, we can't wait to see you in Arkansas. And then in September, October, we've got a big trainings in Texas doing our House Bill 2604 real pumps and nozzle class. We're going to be doing 2 big events in October for that, as well as going to Kansas for Wichita Hot. I'm going up there and giving my lecture at Wichita Hot. That's going to be badass. Going to get to see a lot of great guys. I know that Wayne Jones of the Firefighter Chalkboard is going to be out there. Several other pretty big names. So we got a lot of great stuff coming up. And if you guys are interested in our actual training list, where we're going to be, when we're going to be there, all that kind of stuff, I built a new page on the website, thirdalarmcowboys.com, and you can see our entire training list. And that's where you can either go and click on it to be able to sign up or just see where we're going to be. I'm putting all that stuff on there, guys. Right now, my website has been completely transformed. You guys go check it out, thirdalarmcowboys.com. I've added a lot of great information. I've added a lot of new stuff, new pages. It's not the same plain Jane website. I've spent probably the last month really updating the website and making it something special, I think. So you guys go check it out. Let me know what you think. If you're an IT guru and you're like, hey man, you need to add this or add that, let me know, because I'm a dumbass and I'm just trying to make it up as I go. And I'm using AI. Strike me down because I'm a fucking terrible sinner. I using ChatGPT to be like, hey, how do I make my website better? Because I'm a dummy and I know nothing about computers. And so it's giving me tips and tricks. And hey, type this in here to make this search engine optimization, blah, 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 all that kind of crap happen. So that's what I'm doing, man. You can hate me for it, and I really don't give a shit. So let me get a drink, and then I'm about to get into some shit. All right, guys. Oh, where to begin? Where to begin? If you can't tell, I've been dropping a lot of new articles lately and really trying to just kick guys in the mouth. I've been trying to explain to you guys, like, giving real life examples, giving real life, like, hey, this is why I am the way that I am. Why I believe the things that I do. And the thing is, at the end of the day, man, I've said a lot of this shit before, and people just simply didn't believe me. There's no way that this guy's career has been involved with this much just crazy shit. And I'm here to tell you it has. And I can't wait till the day comes that I actually sit down and write a book. People are gonna be like, man, this dude is making this shit up. No, the receipts are there, man. And when I finally do write a book, I will probably be name dropping at that point in time because I'll be protected and just won't care anymore. So on this podcast, I don't name names, I don't name departments. I try to keep myself from getting sued. But when I actually go to writing a book, I'm probably going to actually name people or be pretty close to it. So, guys, something that has been on my fucking mind lately and has been driving me insane is the Cross-Bugle Curse. I dropped an article about it very recently, and I had a lot of people reach out to me. A lot of people, administrations departments that I used to work for. People have reached out. There's been other guys that are like, man, that was spot on, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, guys, all of us have a family. Whether you know your family, don't know your family, if you don't know your family, then you probably are going to resonate with this even more. All of us had parents, otherwise we wouldn't have got here. Whether your parents were good parents or bad parents, I can't speak to that. That's for each and every one of you. But we all had parents. And what I will say is, as a parent, you want better for your kids. You want the hardships that you went through, the struggles that you went through, you want to protect your children from that. You should. Now, do you want to pussyfy them and make them soft and all that? No, absolutely not. But you don't want, man, if you grew up hungry, you wouldn't want your kids to grow up hungry. Now, you want to make them have drive, have ambition, want to be a badass, want to be competitive. So you might put them in sports, you might teach them, but you're not going to deny them food. Okay? That's not what we do as parents. That's exactly what the fuck we do in the fire service. Every bit of fucking hardship that we go through in the fire service, for some reason, we find it acceptable and a necessity to pass the fuck on. And even so much as sexual fucking assault, which I've been pissed about since the beginning of this podcast. I've talked about it. Waxahachie, Texas. They went through a huge deal, entire lawsuits, all this kind of stuff behind the hazing that they did. Because it's just culturally acceptable with that department to shove a broomstick up somebody's ass. Why? Because it happened to me. And you can call me crazy. You can say this, you can say that. But, I've got daughters. And a big thing I've started talking about in my lecture, and the reason why, my section of my lecture that talks about bridging generational gaps, why mine is actually effective as opposed to other guys that are traveling and trying to teach the same class, they're bridging the gaps of generations that are now all old because they haven't been on a truck in so long. They don't resonate with the 18-year-old. Well, guys, my oldest daughter is 18 years old. The kids that she's graduating with right now, or just graduated with, can literally be going to fire academy right now. So I actually am in touch with that group, and then I have kids scattered out for the next 20 years after that. So I'm in touch with the group that's actually happening right now, and I see this stuff. And so it also makes me have a closer relationship and understanding, like, hey, man, if my daughter was coming into one of y'all stations right now, and I knew that part of her initiation of the fire department was to have a broomstick shoved up her ass or a chorizo sausage shoved up her ass, I would fucking kill y'all. It's that plain and simple. But yet, in your own departments, if it was your kid, you would be adamant against it. But in your own department, you're walking around like this. Well, it happened to me. Would you be okay with that happening to your kid? Whatever it is, would you be okay if you had a daughter and you knew that the guys talk to women a certain kind of way in the fire department? Would you let some Joe Schmo whatever at Walmart call your daughter a slut, call your daughter a whore, tell your daughter, like, hey, you want this job, you need to get down and suck my dick in an interview because I want you, you want this job, you're going to have to earn it. You would fucking lose your mind. But in the fire department, it's okay. Why? Because it's what we've always done. And that's where I'm starting to get really fucking twisted with a lot of you guys. A whole lot of you guys. You're so fucking comfortable putting your blinders on and hiding into the fire service and hiding behind the badge and being just fucking comfortable. And then you want to call yourself a man. I just got off the phone with my boy Chad. Chad, this is all your fault, dog. This is all your fault because you got me fucking pumped. You want to stand by and you call yourself, man, you guys that are calling yourselves Christian men, I'm going to get into more of this here in a minute, but you people that are calling yourselves Christian men, I'm telling you now, you better reach down and grab your nuts because you're going to burn in fucking eternity in hell for claiming that you're one thing and you're not. I've seen it year after year after year after year at the departments I've worked at, everywhere. It's like the fucking curse happens. As soon as them bugles do like this on somebody's shirt, they totally change everything. And Howard Reinwald, man, I love you. I absolutely love you. I've always looked up to you. I've known you a long time. And I know that you said these things to me. It was a great conversation. And I hope that Howard and I are actually going to work on some of this stuff in the future. And he was saying like, hey, if you're not a chief, it's hard to judge chiefs. In a chief that's never been a firefighter, it's hard to judge firefighters. And I totally agree with that statement. And the thing that I'm trying to figure out is, and I think I do have it figured out, but the thing that I'm trying to make all you guys start understanding is like, it's no different. Whereas a parent, if you wouldn't want something done to your kid or something happened to you, you grow up in an abusive household, you grow up in an alcoholic driven household where people are getting their ass beat. You watch your dad beat your mom's ass all fucking night. Sexual assaults are happening, all this. You have a choice, right? You have a choice when you become a grown up. And this is the way it goes. This is the fucking truth. This is not Heath. It's just the way it goes. I watched it with my mother. My mother doesn't drink, but like 2 margaritas a year because she grew up in a household that had alcoholism and a lot of abuse. So she does not like drinking. She rides me and my brother's ass about it because we have a lot of drug addiction and alcoholism in our family, and it scares the shit out of her and my granny, who's passed away now. But it used to scare them when they watched my brother and I drink as much as we did when we were younger because they didn't want us going down their route. Because it's the way it goes, right? If you grow up in an alcoholic family, alcoholism-driven family, you go one of 2 routes when you get older. You become full-blown alky too, or you go the other route and you do better and you become more or less sober, drink just a little bit, but you don't go the route. You literally do a 180 of the things that you saw. Not in the fire service. Hell no, not in the fire. It's a rite of fucking passage. And see, that's where we got shit all fucked up. And whatever it is, I've literally watched guys. I've watched countless guys despise a certain action. They're entitled from the time they were a firefighter till they worked up EO, lieutenant, captain, whatever it is, they hated such and such things that would happen. But as soon as them bugles did like this, they start doing the same fucking thing. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. A lot of guys, and like Howard's like, well, man, if you've never been in that role, and caveat, guys, and I kind of hate this because I don't advertise it, I'm firefighter Heath. I have been a chief. So guys out there, well, you don't know because you just need to promote. I'm a firefighter now because I fucking chose to be. I'm a firefighter still because I chose to be. I choose to be that. If I wanted to fucking promote, I could fucking promote. If I wanted to be a chief, I could be a fucking chief. I was a chief. It's not a matter of that. That is a life choice for me. So don't sit here and look at me, well, you don't know. No, I do know. You can make fucking choices even as a chief. Just like if you grew up in a toxic environment of affect, you can make the choice to not be that alcoholic. You can make the choice to not be that abuser. You can make the choice to do something different with your life. But what happens in the fire service is we don't do it. We don't make that choice to make that 180 and do something different. Why? Because it's fucking hard. And you have a target on your back. And you're that different guy. Something is wrong with you. You're making waves. Whatever, all the million, stay in your fucking lane bullshit, all the fucking things that we do in the fire service, and that's a whole other thing. You guys can clip this and put it on there. If you fucking say stay in your lane, you're a cocksucking piece of shit, okay? If you actually stay in your lane in an industry that is so dynamic in which there is no lanes in the fire service, because when you show up on scene, what are the fuck are you gonna do? EMS is only my lane. I can only do patient care. Oh, hazmat is only my lane. If it's a wreck, I can't do extrication because I'm only hazmat. That whole notion of fucking stay in your lane, it pisses me off where I want to literally slap the fuck out of people that say it. Because that's the most douchebag shit that you could ever say in an industry where it's like, today I may be assigned to a fucking engine company, but in my department right now, my department's got 2 engines and 2 ladders and a tanker. If my chief says, hey, motherfucker, you're moving to the ladder house, I'm moving to the fucking ladder house. So the gurus of the fucking fire service that are going to say, oh, you need to stay in your lane because you've been on an engine for the last 3 years. You need to, what the fuck are you talking about? This is an industry where we are a fucking problem solve all industry. Now, if you haven't been on the job but 3 seconds, you probably don't know all the different lanes. But if you've been in 20 plus years, you're probably a pretty good truck guy. You're probably a pretty good engine guy. If you worked at a rural department, you're probably a pretty good water supply guy. You probably at any of them have a decent capability of doing extrication, so you might be a half-ass rescue guy. That fucking notion of stay in your lane, motherfucker, fuck you. How about this? Because I recently saw this and it pissed me off, and I'm just like, what in the fuck? How about this lane? How about the lane is if you ain't been on a fire truck and rode full-time at a fire department in the last decade, how about your lane is fucking retired? How about that? How about your lane is just like my dad that's going to tell me, because they didn't even wear fucking air packs back then, he's never even put a Scott pack on. So his lane is, I ain't wore the motherfucker, so I'm not going to tell you how to do it. So how about that lane? How about you stay in the lane of fucking old bastards that are retired and need to stay out? Because that's always when it's always the old chiefs. You young kids in your podcast, you need to stay in your lanes. You haven't rode a truck. You didn't ride a truck when they were even doing EMS. You never even been an EMT or a paramedic. So for you to sit here and say that we're out of our fucking lane when we're doing like 100 times more shit, hazmat wasn't even around when some of you guys were in the fire service, and now departments have entire hazmat divisions. So what are you talking about lanes? No, this is what it is. You're mad that young guys like me are coming up and being able to build something, learn something. We, honest to God, know 10 times more than what you guys truly did. I'm not being mean. I'm being fucking honest, because our level of responsibility in today's fire service encompasses everything from answering 911 calls because the air conditioner went out, to most departments now requiring you to be a paramedic, to hazmat response, to rescue response, to fucking fire suppression with all this shit. Like, our level of knowledge is here. You guys were a firefighter. Your fucking name badge said firefighter, not firefighter EMT, not firefighter paramedic. Your shit said firefighter. You got to show up, ride a singular apparatus for a majority of your career, and you got off that apparatus 15 years ago. Or you were on a flight car for the last 10, 15 years of your career, so you haven't rode a suppression apparatus in 20 to 30 years, some of you. And yet you tell young guys like me to stay in our fucking lane. So that shit pissed me off, but that's a whole other deal. That's the lane, motherfucker. Your lane is retired. Stay fucking retired. Okay? That's the fucking truth of how I feel about it. Now, getting back on this shit. We have guys that don't like things that were done to them throughout their career. Whether it's, and I talked about it in that article, you know, I worked at a place, man, and it's just funny. That chief was so hell-bent on he had to be in control of everything, where we had a fucking, whatever, I think it was 45 or 5,500 gallon super tanker, massive tanker. He thought everybody was stupid. Nobody could pull that tanker but him. So it wouldn't get pulled if we needed it unless he came and pulled it. I literally have a fucking 18-wheeler sitting outside my house. I grew up driving fucking log trucks and shit and drove an 18-wheeler since I was like 10 years old. But I have some fucking asshole chief from Houston that he can judge on whether I can drive or not. I have a fucking CDL. He doesn't even have a CDL, but he says I can drive and I can't drive it. Why? Because you're fucking stupid. Stay in your lane. I've heard that shit my whole career. Stay in your lane. Well, he's my lane, motherfucker. This is my lane. So shit like that, or like the lawnmower, right? So I was a dickhead because I'm an asshole and I'm not going to deny this shit. The fire department bought a zero-turn mower for the first time because our fucking stations were huge. We had like 5 acres at one station we had to mow, and there was 3 other stations that we had to mow, and it just took fucking forever. It was like 8 hours of mowing on a damn zero-turn when it came lawn day. He was such an asshole, and like, Howard, love you, man, but Howard was even like, man, I loved it if the chief would have mowed. Well, it was the point, it was the principle behind the matter. It wasn't that he was mowing. I didn't care if he wanted to come out there and help, but it was, you're too stupid to mow because you're going to tear it up. So what do? I've got 2 60-inch fucking Kubota mowers that are worth about $8,000 a piece. I load them some bitches up on a trailer and brought them to the fucking station. Don't tell me I'm not capable of mowing some shit, because I'll bring my own fucking shit and mow it just to say fuck you. Like, that's literally who I am, because you're not going to put me in a bubble and say that I'm stupid. But you did. And that's why I fucking hate your guts for it. And this is the reason why you guys might say, like, what the hell's wrong with Heath? That's why. I've literally been told I'm so incapable that I could own $15,000, $16,000 worth of lawnmowers, and at the time was running a successful lawn mowing business with my brother. But I have a fire chief who's a fucking piece of shit tells me that I'm not intelligent enough to run a lawnmower. You know, and so it's shit like that. Just shit like that. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Throughout my entire career, I have dealt with that type of, I don't want to call it abuse because you're not going to fucking abuse me, but I have dealt with that amount of just shit. Okay. Then I watch guys that hated that, man. Fuck this chief. He's such an asshole. When he shows up, it just ruins the whole day. He critiques you on that. He says you're wrong. Like one day, you know, you make a car fire, and this was the funny thing. This is a perfect example. Make a car fire one day, right? Why do we have bumper lines on fucking engines for car fires? 100 foot fucking bumper line, whatever. You pull a bumper line one day on a car fire, you're not supposed to pull the bumper line. You need to drop a cross lay. You're fucking stupid. You're doing it wrong. That's the wrong tactics. Make a car fire the next day, you pull the cross lane. Why the fuck didn't you pull the bumper line? Inconsistent, just harassment. Absolute just shit harassment by these individuals, okay? And I've dealt with that. I hate to single out that one department because I have dealt with that at multiple different departments where it's just inconsistent shit like that. And guys hate it because you don't know when you're going to get yelled at. You don't know when you're going to get in trouble. You don't know what the fuck because you're trying to do your job. You think you do it. The fire went out. You saved the property, but you're still going to get yelled at when you get back to the station or even when you're still on scene is when that guy would do it. He would yell at you on scene and make you feel like a fucking dumbass, okay? And so guys would hate that. And then they promote through the ranks. Then their bugles do like this. And then what the fuck do they do? Start treating people the same way, all because they're bugles. They're yelling at people. They're being toxic as fuck. They're second guessing everything. They're micromanaging everything. They're hoarding information. You know, that was one of the big things. I called it an informative leader. But these guys, they would have an officer meeting and they would not let you know shit that was coming down the pipe. The chiefs would have their meeting with the boards or the city councils and they would never let you know what was coming down the pipe. And they're like, man, whenever I make chief or something, I'm going to keep you guys in. I'm going to be a voice for you. You guys bring me your concerns or your needs and all that. And I'm going to take them up the chain. You're swearing that you're going to do this shit. Then your bugles do like this. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. And if, guys, yesterday, I watched a lot of the Dr. Fauci shit, okay? A lot of Dr. Fauci shit, and that motherfucker sat there 100-something fucking times pleading the fifth, okay? And side caveat, Chad and I were talking about this shit, and side caveat, you guys, I know the fucking Dave Chappelle plead the fifth shit is funny, haha. This motherfucker killed people, guys. Like, yes, the meme in itself is funny. That Dave Chappelle skit was funny, but the fact that the number one doctor over all of that shit killed this many people in the U.S., regardless of what political party you're on. The fact that we're making a joke of the fact that the dude is sitting up there saying, fuck y'all, I ain't saying shit, I'm not answering, I'm not accounting. That is ridiculous. And it's not funny, and it's not a ha-ha. This guy fucking killed people, including people in my family, including people in your families. Made people watch guys die, their family members die over Zoom. We had firemen die. You know, we had guys that died from being put on a ventilator when they could have had medication and they took his bullshit and it killed them. Firemen die. We had an entire generation like my daughter that's now I'm paying $400 a fucking month for her private tutoring because that happened during her very, very, very critical times of learning how to read and write. And they shut the fucking schools down. And then they put the teachers in a mask and they didn't learn how to pronounce their words right. And it's really hard to spell if you don't know how to pronounce and sound things out the proper way you were taught in elementary school. And that entire generation has had that happen. They stole, you know, generations of education from people. Why? So this one motherfucker with a big fucking nose can sit up there and be a smug cocksucker and say, at the advice of my attorney, I'm pleading the fifth under my constitutional right. Well, you're going to have the constitutional right. And this is where I'm going to get into some of the Jesus shit. And I don't even get religious, but you guys that are constantly like falling back on, I'm a man of God, I'm religious, I'm that. Let me give you a little insight here and I'm not a Bible scholar, but you guys need to go read it cover to cover and ask me or tell me on what passage in which book of the Bible that it ensures that your ass gets a fucking fire department pension. Because I ain't ever found it. What the Bible actually dictates for you guys is to stand up and do the right thing. Stand up for children. Stand up against evil. Have courage. All the different things. It's giving you fucking commandments in every single page of that to stand up and be a fucking man. protect your family, protect your community, protect your church. And I'm going to tell you guys, those of you with your bugles like this, you're a bitch. You're a fucking bitch. And what's going to end up happening when this world finally does go sideways or you pass away and you got to go get judged, you're going to get judged for the actions that you're doing. Because you're acting like a bitch. And here's the reason why. You sold your soul out for comfort. You sold your soul for that fucking lake house or that fucking pontoon boat or that weekend trips to the golf course or your fucking gun range bullshit or your fucking, all the things that you Chiefs are all doing now together and play. You sold your soul and are not doing the right thing for comfort. That's it. You know, and people can say what they want. Well, man, I got a wife. Motherfucker, I got a wife and kids. Picture of them right there. Wife and 5 kids sitting in this home. Do you think for a second that I don't have that thought that comes up in my mind? But the difference is this, guys, I'm a fucking man. And if it comes down to it, if this fire department shit all went away tomorrow because the taxpayers finally got tired of it and we said we're not paying for chicken shit firefighters to stand outside while our babies are if it all went away, I'll change fucking oil for a living. I'll go back to the fucking oil field. You think I want to go back to working like I did when I was 18? No, it sucks. 12 to 18-hour days in the beating hot-ass sun in the fucking state of Texas and West Texas. No, that sucks. But I would do it to provide for my family because that's my fucking job as a father and as a man. Just like every one of you. Every one of you are required to provide and to work. But what the problem is you gotten so comfortable in your fucking job as a chief that whenever it comes time for you to finally be in that position to not pass on that fucking hate and those fucking problems and the way it's always been done that you didn't fucking like, when it comes time for you to do it, you don't want the target on your back because you don't want to lose the fucking comfort of what you got. Your $600,000 home, your lake house, your nice truck, all the shit that you Chiefs have to buy because you're keeping up with it. You don't want to give that. You don't want to look your wife in the face. And this is where it goes where you're lacking as a man and as a leader of your household. And if you call yourself a godly man, you call yourself religious, you're really fucking up. You're really fucking up because you're selling everything that Bible says about being a leader of your home and doing the right thing and teaching your kids right from wrong and all that kind of shit. You're selling it down for comfort so you don't have to come home and tell your wife, baby, we're losing the $600,000 house because, I did what was right by the guys. You've sold your soul for comfort and for clout and for a fucking title. And I'm going to call you a bitch for it. And you say, well, Heath, that's easy for you to say. I've done it. I've done it. Tons of other guys have done it. And here's the thing, too, that you guys got to understand. This is not just me. The messages that are going out where guys are fighting this and fighting that, shout out to you, Paul. Guys are starting to understand. The world is getting pissed because of the Dr. Fauci's. The world is getting pissed of these entitled fucks that have fucked with our lives for so long and made our lives so hard. You guys are on the chopping block and you just don't know it yet. Paul is a chief, doesn't like the climate and what's going on, has tried to make a difference, can't make a difference, so he's going to say, fuck it, I'm going somewhere where I can actually make a difference. And what does he do? He went into an interview, did the PAT test, all the shit that he's got to do to go into this new department, did everything, but did it himself, and what really resonated with me with the message that he said was, hey man, I went into the interview and instead of giving chief-like answers, and trying to give the answers I thought they wanted to hear and more or less answer correctly, he went in there and answered as Paul, gave truthful answers, and he had told his wife before he went into the meeting, if I don't get this job, then I know they didn't want me. Because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be Paul and I'm going to answer the questions the way that what I believe in. And if they don't want that and they don't hire me, then I know I never needed to work there because I would have had to been fake the whole time. That's a man. That's leading a household. That is what you do because then you come out and you tell your wife, well, I didn't get the job. That's all right, baby. They didn't want you. If that person's married to you, they married to you. They know the real you. They know what your shit smells like. They know how bad your breath is in the morning. They know the real you. And they love you for it because obviously they're still married to you. So they respect you for that. They want you to go into the world and be that because they want to be proud to be married to you. And you guys that are not doing that shit because you're selling your soul for fucking bugles that do this shit, that's why you got mental problems. That's why that you're drinking and shit so much. That's why you're unhappy, because you're being yourself. You're being a bitch. And this is the thing, man. Guys like to compare the shit all the time to the Nazis. And I'm going to compare this real quick so that you guys can really genuinely understand. And call me crazy for this, but this is what I believe. Regardless of what you view about the whole Jewish thing and all that kind of stuff, people in that Nazi party, regardless of religion, regardless of whatever that was going on, people that were going house to house, ripping up baseboards and digging in attics to find people that had lost everything they owned, homeless, poor, starving people, drug them out of the fucking mud to go kill them, and then turn around and say, well, I was just doing my job. And never having any kind of self-judgment about that. Like I said, some people might have deserved it. Some people might not. I'm not getting into the whole aspect behind it. But the fact that you could turn around and say, well, I was just doing my job because you were scared of losing your comfort. And a lot of these guys, man, the reason I even bring this shit up, a lot of these people, these German police officers and shit like that were doing that stuff, knew the people. That's how they knew where to find them. They were members of their community and they knew them. So they knew how to go find them. They knew where to go search them out. They knew where they were going to be hiding. They literally killed their neighbors or turned their neighbors over to be killed under the guise of, I'm just doing my job. It's not like it was a total stranger that was a warrior for another fucking country's army that you were killing. That's a whole other ball game that we could get into. These were people that were literally going and killing their own neighbors because they knew where to find them and then saying, well, I was just doing my job. That's what you guys are doing. You're killing your firefighters. You're killing their careers. You're killing their families so that you can just say, well, I'm just doing my job. No, you're not. You're keeping yourself fucking comfortable. You don't want to lose that $150, $160, $200,000 a year job. You don't want to paint a target on your back for doing the right thing because you're addicted to the fucking comfort. And guys, there's nothing in this life that says that we're guaranteed comfort. That's not how it works. Actually, our job is supposed to be all about service, and it's supposed to be about brotherhood and all the shit that people like to sell us on. That's what they like to claim, but it has nothing to do with that, man. We are not guaranteed comfort. We're not guaranteed easy in any aspect of life. And this is the thing, man, in wrapping this up, what I want you guys to genuinely understand, unless you work for the FDNYs, the Houston Fires, that are super civil service protected and all that, this goes out to you county guys or you smaller cities. The ass-kissing game that you are playing today, when you don't have this union collective bargaining, when you don't have civil service protection and all the super great things that comes along with that, when you're playing the ass-kissing game and I'm not going to make waves or put a target on my back today game to keep your job, you will be the first motherfucker to go. Because what will happen is that chief, I took a class a long time ago about a leadership class. And it said the biggest thing that you got to understand, no matter who you work for as a chief, if you're younger in the ranks, your career will be longer than that chief. So regardless of whether that chief's there 10 years or 3 years or three more days, they're going to leave before you do. And if you're playing the ass-kissing game to make that chief happy, do you really genuinely think that next chief that comes in can't come in and wipe the fucking slate clean like they do at every sheriff's office in Texas whenever a new sheriff comes in and they wipe out all the sergeants and the captains and the corporals and all that bullshit of all the rank and they put their buddies in all those spots? It's going to happen to you too. And the only way it won't is if when they come in and the new chief is observing the landscape and finding out, and then they see, A shift chief and B shift chief, they were just ass kissers to the last chief. But the C shift chief has actually really built something strong in their department, and their shift is strong, and they're out there training with the guys all the time, and they really have a great culture on that shift. Like all the things that a new chief would be looking for, that's what's going to be protected, not who kisses the most ass. Because if they want to ass kisser, they're just going to call their buddy and give their buddy a fucking job. So what you're doing today is actually hurting yourself on down the road. And you're too blind to see it because you're addicted to the comfort. That's what the Cross-Bugle Curse is. It's whenever you're so addicted and you were shown the wrong way for so long that now that you're in that spot, you don't know how to break the habit. You don't know how to break the curse. You don't know how to do a 180 and do the fucking opposite because it's not comfortable. You know, and that is no different. I'll wrap it back around to this, guys. That is no different than if you grew up in an abusive, alcoholism, drug-infested household, and then you turn around and when you're an adult, you say, well, hell, it's what my dad did, so I'm just going to get drunk and beat the hell out of my kids and my wife. We would all say that you were a piece of shit for that. So why are you doing it in the fire department? And the list, the examples of goes on and on and on of the guys that are doing those things, even simple things. I used it in the article. I use that as an example, man. I have worked for people that whenever, we didn't have shift bids, you didn't have a locked in position. And guys would talk about how much they hate, 6 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I need you to move over here. I'm transferring you for the next 6 months. No heads up, no warning, no nothing. You get moved from your station, you get ripped from your crew. Guys you work for years, you got great crew integrity with. All the things I like to talk about that's very important. You get moved around. Basically, the department plays Yahtzee with you all the time. And you fucking hated it the whole time you were in operations. But now you're in a position to make a difference for that and to not have that happen anymore. You double down on it. Well, it's what happened to me. It's what I had to go through. Okay. So if you're a rape victim, you're just going to fucking say that, well, everybody needs to be raped because it's what you had happen to you. Like, think about the logic behind what you're saying. If you didn't like it, then why would you do it to other people? Our mothers used to tell us when we had, those of us that have moms, do unto others as you wish to be done unto you. That is pretty great guidance in life. If you don't like it, and you didn't like it when it was done to you, don't turn around and do it to other people. That is a Cross-Bugle Curse, guys. So my challenge to every single one of you, whether you're a day one firefighter moving up through the ranks, or you're a big chief at the top spot, and you've been fucking up for the last 20 years, look yourself in the mirror and say, man, am I doing the things that to other people that I didn't like done to me? Shit, I know of a perfect example of a big chief, very well-known chief in my area, that literally his assistant chief pulled him in about 6 months to a year ago and said, dude, you remember all the shit because they worked together for a long time. He said, you remember all the things that our old chief used to do to us that you didn't fucking like when you were a captain? Well, yeah, you're doing it to the guys now. Shit, I am? Yeah, here, A, B, and C. Oh, shit. So you guys got to understand, you can hold people accountable. You can shed light on because most of them, they get so caught up, they're trying to go through, the day-to-day, they're trying to play survival mode, they're trying to build, they're trying to progress, whatever their current department's condition is, they're getting caught up in all that, and they're going to default. We talk about it in training all the time. You default to your foundational level of training whenever things go sideways. That's why we teach people stop, drop, and roll when it's PR events. That's why we teach you guys in Fire Academy worst case scenarios for flashover or all those things, or how to search in a worst case scenario type environment, so that when shit does go south, you're going to fall back on that. Guys, it's no different in the leadership realm. If you don't truly condition yourself for being able to self-reflect and being able to critique yourself in an honest manner, and you don't surround yourself with people that tell you the fucking truth, you just surround yourself with those ass kissers, then you're going to fall back to your default foundation of leadership, which if you came up underneath people like I did, that could be a very bad thing. You have to make a conscious effort. You have to educate yourself constantly on what you actually want to be rather than what you're sometimes being shown. You have to get outside your comfort zone and go to places, go to leadership seminars, read books, get outside the fucking fire service. Go and learn from great, proven, real-life leaders, whether it's in the business world or the military or shit like that. Don't take everything end-all, be-all from these assholes in the fire service. Go and learn information elsewhere and then incorporate it to how you are as a person. I don't tout about myself a lot, guys, but for fucking 15 plus years now, since basically Audible came out, I have listened to leadership and self-development audiobooks driving back and forth to Houston, sometimes 3 to 4 times a fucking week for years to build my own level of leadership. It was not taught to me in the fire department. It was not taught to me in Fire Officer 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. None of those books taught that shit. This was outside knowledge from military guys, from fucking businessmen, from everything. The Bible, it doesn't matter. All these different things that I've pulled from to build the guy that you see. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not the best. But when it comes to being able to break things down to a foundational level of hey, A and B and C, I'm one of the only guys doing it. And that's why. Because everyone else has gotten comfortable. You spend your days off going to the fucking lake. You spend your days off going hunting. You spend your days off doing all that shit. Which is fine. But you got to understand the learning never stops. And if you're in those leadership positions, I'm sorry. Going to fucking Chiefs Academy one time, or going to Fire Officer 3 and 4 one time, or going to Executive Fire Officer at National Fire Academy one time does not make you the fucking greatest thing ever. It's an ever-evolving, all the time. The generations are changing. People's personalities are changing. The climate is changing. You have to stay on top of this shit, and you have to look yourself in the mirror every single day and say, if I make this decision, would I like it if it was done to me? And it's that simple. It is that simple. And if the answer is yes, then move forward and then go to guys that are trusted to not just be your yes men. That's the worst fucking thing the fire service has done, is allowed for yes men and the culture of promoting my boys, promoting my yes men, promoting the people that agree with me. That is the worst fucking thing that the fire service has done in the last 20 years. And you look around and damn near every administration has done it to some degree or another. They put their boys that they know are not going to buck them and they know they're going to agree with them. They've put them in those positions. And so there's no conflict. There's no checks and balances. There's no, hey man, yeah, I wouldn't fucking do that, chief. And there's no real open conversation dialogue going in where a chief goes in and they go in behind shut doors and they're like, hey, you're fucking up. I've seen that happen less than a handful of times in my entire career where an assistant chief went in the big chief's office, shut the fucking door and said, this is wrong. And you can't tell me, I don't care who you are, how much information you think you have in your brain, you are not always right. You're not always right. And you know, guys, I'm gonna close with this. I'm an intelligent person. I study a lot of history. I have a great base knowledge of a lot of different things. I'm not the end all be all in any subject. I don't have a fucking lane, motherfucker. I have learned lots of different lanes across the entire freeway and everything that comes into it. I was one of those that was taught as a young child, it's better to have knowledge in a lot of different topics than it is to only be an expert in one thing. So right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what I was taught. So I learned about a lot of different stuff, and spent decades now learning about different stuff. Going to Italy this last week, guys, I realized how fucked we are as a country, how fucked we are as a fire service. Because when you sit in a room with a room full of chiefs, and a chief can literally sit at you and say that they know everything and they make no mistakes and they are the end all be all. And then you go to a place like Rome, Italy, okay? Or I had this real realization when we were in Florence, Italy. Going to these cathedrals, man. And I'm not Catholic, I'm Methodist, but I have a high respect for the Catholic Church because Methodist is only like one shade off from Catholic. We go through confirmation and all that kind of stuff as well, just like Catholics do when we're younger. Going into these cathedrals, going into these, churches that took 600 to 1,000 years to build, and the amount of stuff that's on the walls, the stories, the people, the history, okay, the history of the world. The history of the world that's wrapped up in these buildings. And you walk in there and you're a guy like me that has spent decades reading books, that is very knowledgeable in a lot of things. And I don't know shit on these walls. I don't know. For one, I can't even read half the walls because they're in another language, which tells me I don't know shit about that language. And I see this stuff and I didn't even know about some of these stories. And I've studied lots of history. That's what I enjoy. And I knew nothing about these stories. I knew nothing about how the Catholic Church was tied to these different events and all this kind of, and you're going through, and then you just look at the building itself. And the columns are damn near the size of my fucking house, made of carved marble that they floated in on aqueducts, fucking rivers. They floated them in to build these cathedrals. And then you come back to the U.S. And we can't even build a fire station that's not fucked up. And these people built this shit 2,000 years ago that's literally lasted for 2,000 years through wars and fires. And bro, I ain't been in a fire station yet that the roof don't leak. I haven't been in a fire station yet where the AC didn't have issues within 6 months. We don't know shit. We don't know shit. And just the fact of seeing that and being this big and standing in these big buildings amongst literal giants of the world and thinking that you're something because your bugles do like this, that's a fucking curse, bro. That's a fucking curse. And I encourage all of you guys, chiefs, firefighters, it's time for some self-reflection and to see where our country is going. We got Fauci over here that literally killed 1 million people. And they're not going to do shit to that guy. We've got fire chiefs that are still, all the things you hear me talk about. Something bad is coming. I don't know what it is, but something bad is coming. And it's going to be the people that are standing up for the right thing, standing up for truly protecting others, whether you're in a firefighter capacity or not, but truly protecting others and doing what's right from wrong. Those are going to be the people that survive. And it might get really ugly. I don't know. But evil does not have the ability to continue to live and grow the way that it is, where you can sit there with no accountability in front of the entire world and say, plead the fifth, I ain't got to tell you shit, and be smug as fuck about it. That's where we are. And, you know, it's very real to me. It's very real to me. So, guys, that's all I got for y'all on that. I hope y'all take something from that. Go, always be self-reflecting, guys. The outlaw code that I've sent out to you guys for the Third Alarm Cowboys outlaw code, that's what it's all about. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm not asking you to be some, wide earth motherfucker. Like, that's fine if you want to be that. But I'm asking you, every single one of those codes is to get a little better every day in each one of these subjects. So if you're interested in the outlaw code, you want to become one of the founding outlaws of the Third Alarm Cowboys, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, whatever, and I'll get you lined up. And we're going to really start making a difference on what's doing fucking right, man, because the world is not going to tolerate this much more of this before it totally breaks into chaos. And then your little beautiful lake house or your weekends at the golf course, it ain't going to matter. When you're in full-fledged fucking war with people from other countries invading it, you're not going to the golf course. You're not going to the gun range. You're not going to the fucking lake. You're not going hunting. You're going to be doing everything you can do then to protect that little beautiful $600,000 home that you got, probably with weapons. That's just where we're at. Your life of comfort will be completely over, and you're going to wish that you did something different, to do something right, to get ahead of the shit before you lost it all anyway. So, guys, that being said, go to thirdalarmcowboys.com, share the shit out of this show. Please, I need you guys to share this. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your audio. Other than that, guys, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. We'll see you on the next one.